All right, you guys, welcome back. I got a new video today, and you guys know, based on the title, that I got my hands on the A7R5. I'm super excited about it, and so we got a fun video. I want to give you guys 5 reasons why I think you should buy the A7R5 over the A7R4 if you're in the market for a high-resolution Sony camera. Before we get into it, I do want to apologize for one thing. I'm recording this in the basement of my house, and so you might hear some foot traffic above me. I apologize, such is life. Also, I should tell you that this video is not sponsored by anybody. I own this A7R4, it's mine, I pay with it with my own money. I rented this A7R5, I pay with it with my own money. So, no sponsors, straight from your boys' pockets, and I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. So let's get into it. Reason number 1 why I think you should choose the A7R5 over the R4 is that you get this screen. Now, I'm a person, because of the type of photography that I do, landscapes, or I should say the type of photography that I love to do, landscapes, street shooting, I appreciate the ability to have a flip up screen because it allows you to easier get your line straight. So if we look at this line here, right, getting your line straight, and especially horizon lines, are easier when you're shooting like this as opposed to shooting with the screen out like this. It's harder to get those lines straight. And also, one of the things about shooting with the screen out like this is that you open yourself up to more damage. But having the ability to have a screen out like this allows for vlogging, if you're into that sort of thing. And as a portrait photographer, I am having to get low down to the ground a lot. And having the ability to have this out like this allows me to shoot up. I don't have to lay down on the ground so much. Your boy's not getting younger. And so I appreciate the ability to have both of those options. So the screen, number 1 reason to upgrade to the A7R5. All right, I misspoke in my original recording, and the comment trolls, they just wait for you to make a mistake. And so I want to correct myself so that I don't have to deal with comment trolls. My second reason for buying the A7R5 is the improved viewfinder. The A7R5 has a 9.4 million 120 FPS viewfinder, and that's a lot to understand. And so the best way that I think I can help understand is, let's say you're someone with really good vision, great vision. The A7R4's viewfinder is like taking that really good vision and putting a piece of glass in front of it. There's nothing wrong with the glass, but it's not the best glass, and you can very much tell there's a piece of glass in front of your vision. On the A7R5, it's like you're just looking, like there's nothing in front of your eyes. And so that's the improvement on the viewfinder. And until you see through the A7R5's viewfinder, there's no other way to explain just how good it is. So that's reason number 2. The viewfinder is unbelievably good. Reason number 3. The new autofocusing system on this camera, I believe, is industry leading. Bar none. I think that this is better than the A1. I think it's better than both the R5 and the R3 cameras that I've shot with. And I know that there's going to be people who disagree with me on that. I'm talking to you Canon users, but we're not going to argue about that. What we're talking about is the upgrades in autofocus from this camera to this camera. And it is much, much better. Remember, I have been shooting with this camera for 2.5 years now, maybe 3 years. And so the autofocus on this camera is immediately noticeably better. A lot of people might say that the algorithm or the AI-based algorithm for this camera is a gimmick. I disagree. Pick it up, use it before you make any kind of decisions about it, but it's amazing. before we move on, I just want to say, hey, if you guys are enjoying this video, take some time, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a follow. I would appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Reason number 4 why I think you should pick up this camera instead of this camera is that it has better video capabilities. I think that it has all of the same video capabilities as the A7S3. So you get 4-bit, you get 12-bit 422 video. You get S-Cinetone in this camera. You get all of the slow motion capabilities in this camera. Not that this camera's video is any slouch, you still get 4K, but it is 8-bit, and the 4K slow motion is cropped, and I think it stops at 30. There's no 4K 60 in this camera at all, and so they took the very best of the A7S3, the very best of the A1, and they put it into this camera. So I believe that this is the best hybrid camera on the market right now, bar none, including all of the Sony cameras. All right, so including all of the Canon cameras. So I'll say that. The last reason to pick this camera up over the A7R4, and I think that this is probably the most important one, is that because this camera is brand new, because this camera is years old, you will still continue to get firmware updates on this camera. I think the last firmware update on this camera was was in 2020 or 2019, I can't remember, but there's no more firmware updates on this camera. So if you buy it, this is the camera that you will get. Sony did release an updated version of this camera, the A7R4A, but basically it's just an increase in resolution on this rear screen. So that's it. So that is the 5th reason, and probably most important reason, to choose the A7R5 over the R4. It's just that you're going to continue to get firmware updates for the next year or so. The one elephant in the room, and probably the biggest reason to choose the other camera, but we'll make a whole nother video on this, is that this camera is right now probably $3,800 brand new. And you can get the A7R4 for much cheaper. You could take that money, buy a lens, buy some lighting. The possibilities are endless. So those are the 5 reasons: the screen, the sensor, the autofocus, video capabilities, and firmware updates. That's it. Which camera would you guys choose right now? The A7R5 or the A7R4? Let's talk about it down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this video. This is a boy named Jamil. I'm Jamil, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make video horizontal again, all right? Peace.